I now know categorically that the Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin technology.
Okay.
The Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin technology.
A me mi pare una stronzata. Complimenti, arrivederci e grazie.
And then let's go to the meat of it. And I'm going to use a tweet from Joe Murgia, because Joe has a direct line to people like Jay Stratton, George Knapp, Jeremy Corbell, and all of those people. And whenever this specific topic comes out, he always asks them, who were part of the OSAP program in the UAP task force. And they even made an extensive study on the Tic-Tac's physics. So they have studied the Tic-Tac quite a bit, and they all agree that the Tic-Tac is anomalous, is not from any aerospace company. The thing is, I don't know what's happening now because of what Ross just talked about. So here it is.
I now know categorically that the Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin technology.
Okay.
That reaction from Bryce was natural. And that's where Bryce potentially does not agree, either with that or with the Chinese drones. I don't think he agrees. I don't know what to think about that, because I know that there's smoke, that people have talked about that forever. I know those alleged Ben Rich quotes from who used to run the Skunk Works. And I don't know who Ross is talking about. How he feels so secure saying this makes me think that he's talking to a Lockheed Martin top executive or an engineer from Lockheed Martin. It has to be somebody from Lockheed Martin. Now, that doesn't mean that whatever he's being told is potentially or necessarily true. I don't know what evidence he has to make those claims, but he's very certain. And then you have Jeremy Corbell talking about this passage material. I wonder, has Ross been shown passage material, or does he have direct contact with firsthand witnesses and people who handled this material? I wonder. So let's hear what he says.
The Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin technology. Why are we being lied to? This is the issue. Why is the United States government now participating at White House executive level in collusion with the national security state to keep secret the fact that they've made these advances? I suspect it's because they've realized that they're being overtaken by their foreign adversaries, and they don't want you to know that.
Okay. The Tic-Tac is Lockheed Martin. Well, in some respects, given how insane the Tic-Tac behaved during the Nimitz, where it went from 80,000 feet to sea level in less than a second, then I would say, well, there's one for the U.S. team that obviously we have some good stuff out there, if that's the case, right?
Yes, but how much of that is being shared with the actual Defense Department that's responsible for the defense of the United States? This is the kind of questions that Congress should be asking.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying Lockheed Martin might, or anybody, but Lockheed Martin in this particular case has a Tic-Tac that they are testing and have been testing and have access to, but they might not have shared it with the Defense Department of the United States, which probably paid for it in their.
You see where this conversation is going? And it's really one of the most frightening hypotheses of all this is the breakaway civilization theory, which coincidentally, and I did not know this, the one who coined breakaway civilization as a term was none other than Richard Dolan in one of his books. And that is one of the scariest scenarios, because if all of the above is happening, if non-human intelligence is real, if these craft that were recovered were cracked, and some non-government entity managed to reverse engineer it and make a craft as fast as the Tic-Tac or even faster over decades. What do you think they have now? If the Tic-Tac happened 20 years ago plus, what do you think they might have now if this is true? But what I think is mostly going on is that Ross seems to be going towards this direction, and Jeremy Corbell and all of the people that are on his side, so to speak, on this debate remain certain that the Tic-Tac is anomalous and is not Lockheed Martin's. So somebody is not telling the truth, and it's really difficult to find out who.